Look at your finger! Or look at your friend's engagement ring. You think that diamond is rare? You think it's an investment? I have bad news for you. You are the victim of the most successful marketing campaign in human history. This is the story of how one company tricked the entire world into believing a common rock was the ultimate symbol of love. Our story begins in the late 1800s. Picture South Africa. Suddenly, enormous diamond mines are discovered. We're not talking about a few shiny pebbles here and there. We're talking about mountains of them. So many, in fact, that diamonds were about to become as common as gravel. The market was flooded, and the price of these once precious stones was on the verge of crashing to absolute zero. A diamond would have been worth less than the dirt it came from. But then, one man had a brilliant and ruthless idea. That man was Cecil Rhodes. He looked at the situation and understood a fundamental truth. If diamonds were everywhere, they were worthless. His plan was audacious. He would create a company called De Beers, Consolidated Mines. The mission: buy every single diamond mine, every single one. By controlling the supply, he could control the price. He wasn't just mining diamonds. He was mining our perception of value. It was the birth of a monopoly that would dominate the world for over a century. With nearly all the world's diamonds under their control, De Beers executed the next phase of their master plan. They created what we could call a hidden chart of false scarcity. Imagine a massive vault in London. Inside, De Beers locked away an estimated 90% of the world's entire supply of rough diamonds. A mountain of treasure hidden from public view. Each year, they would only release a tiny, carefully calculated amount onto the market. This created the illusion that diamonds were incredibly rare, driving prices. They weren't selling a product. They were selling a shortage. They manufactured rarity out of abundance, but controlling the supply was only half the battle. They had the diamonds, but they needed people to actually want them. In the 1930s, especially after the Great Depression, very few Americans were buying diamonds. They were seen as a luxury for the ultra-rich, not an essential purchase. So in 1938, De Beers hired a New York ad agency, NWA, with a simple yet monumental task: invent a reason for average Americans to buy diamonds. The agency's copywriters went to work, and what they came up with would change society forever. They linked diamonds to the most powerful human emotion: love. They started placing diamonds in the hands of Hollywood movie stars, the influencers of their day. They sent speakers to high schools to talk to young women about the importance of a diamond engagement ring. They paid magazines to run stories featuring celebrities showing off their giant rocks. And then, in 1947, a copywriter named Francis Gerety penned for simple words that became arguably the most powerful slogan of all time: "A diamond is forever." It wasn't just a tagline, it was a psychological masterpiece. It suggested that a diamond, just like your love, was eternal, indestructible, and permanent. But they didn't stop there. They needed to tell men exactly how much to spend. So, De Beers invented the salary rule. They ran massive advertising campaigns with lines like, "How can you make 2 months' salary last forever?" They created this idea that the size and quality of the diamond were a direct measure of a man's love for a woman and his success in life. It wasn't some ancient tradition passed down through generations. It was a sales pitch created in a boardroom to move product. They literally invented a tradition out of thin air and sold it to the world. So, the next time you see a diamond, remember what you're really looking at. It's not necessarily a rare geological marvel or a savvy financial investment. In fact, diamonds have terrible resale value. You're looking at a common carbon crystal, masterfully transformed by a story about love, about forever, about status. It's a powerful lesson that the value of almost anything isn't inherent in the object itself, but in the story we're told about it. Sometimes, the most expensive things in the world are just common rocks with a really great marketing team. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the things we think we know. See you in the next one.